What did you do upon seeing this heated conversation?
Well, I immediately went over to see if Mr. Longstreet required my assistance. But as soon as I got there, Cameron turned and stormed away. And Mr. Longstreet immediately turned to me and said that Cameron had just been fired. He hadn't taken it well. I should keep an eye out for him.
Objection. Hearsay.
Let me hear that again. Can you read that back? I'm not going all the way back, just this last question.
I immediately went over to see if Mr. Longstreet required my assistance. But as soon as I got there, Cameron turned and stormed away. And Mr. Longstreet immediately turned to me and said that Cameron had just been fired. He hadn't taken it well. I should keep an eye out for him.
May I be heard?
Yes.
This is an exemption to hearsay under Rule 8031, present sense impression. May I proffer?
How that's a present sense impression?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, proffer.
What we just heard, Your Honor, is that there was an event, Cameron Poole being fired, and that the declarant, immediately after this event took place, described that event to Mr. Eccles. That qualifies under 8031.
And what's the relevance of it?
This is relevant in that we've established that Cameron Poole hadn't taken being fired well. It's the defense's contention that Cameron Poole wasn't in cahoots with Whitney Bowman, but rather, on August 30th, he committed a crime of passion, independently because he had been fired and not taken it well.
But how does him committing a crime of passion eliminate Miss Bowman?
Because it was a spur-of-the-moment action, Your Honor. That would lessen the chance that Miss Bowman could have been involved.
I see. Okay, so the nature of the comment was that he
had
was
just been
told by
fired.
Mr. Longstreet that he had just fired Mr. Poole, and Mr. Poole had not taken it well.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, may I respond?
Yes.
There's another, the last clause in that statement is that Mr. Eccles should keep an eye on Mr. Poole. That's no longer describing the event.
If I may be heard on those grounds.
Go ahead.
As for the latter portion of that statement, that isn't being offered for the truth, but rather to go to the effect on Mr. Eccles, the park security guard.
What was the effect on him?
As security, it's his job to keep an eye out for things, and what he'll tell you in further questioning is that he did in fact see Cameron Poole later. My next question is going to be, did you end up seeing Cameron Poole later?
Again, I'm having trouble following where that part would be relevant in this case.
Where which part, Your Honor?
The fact that he told him keep an eye out for Mr. Poole.
If counsel would like to strike that part of the question, that's fine.
Your Honor, I do believe that statement should be stricken for the record.
Okay. All right. I will overrule it as to the first part of the statement, and I'll grant your motion to strike the second part.